The question here is to find the focus and directrix of 1/2 y squared is equal to 3x. Now the first thing we want to do is identify the quadratic term, right, which is the square term here. In this case, it's the y term. Okay, so we know that this parabola is going to open either left or right. And to narrow it down even further, there is no negatives here. Okay, so that tells us then that this parabola, whatever it's doing, is going to open to the right. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to isolate the quadratic term, right? So this square term here in this case, okay, the coefficient must be a 1, right? So here we want to sort of cancel out that 1/2. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, so when we do so, you notice on the left side, 2 times 1/2 cancels out. We get y squared is equal to 6x. Okay. Now, based on the general form of the equation of a parabola, right, then we take the coefficient of the linear term, okay, and set that equal to 4p. Okay, remember 4p, or p, represents the distance from the vertex to the focus. Okay, so let's take this 6, set it equal to 4p, and then solve for p here, right? So when we divide both sides by 4, we get p is 6 over 4, or better known as 3 over 2, or 1/2. Okay. So remember, p is going to represent the distance from the vertex to the focus, but also the distance from the vertex to the directrix. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do a rough sketch of this parabola. Okay, so let's draw our hash marks. Okay, once again, we've already determined that this parabola is going to open to the right. Okay, so let's draw the parabola. In this case, just a rough sketch here, but we know that the vertex is at 0, 0, and we know that this is going to open to the right. Now, since p is equal to 1/2, okay, the focus then should lie, okay, on the axis of symmetry here. Okay, but in this case, p units away from the vertex inside the parabola. Okay, so 1.5 units inside the parabola. We want to go that many units, so the focus should be over there. Okay, so the vertex should be at 0, 0 in this case, and the focus should be at 3/2, 0. Okay, now the directrix is a line, right? Directrix is a line that is opposite the focus. Okay, so outside of the parabola, p units away, right? So here, because p is equal to 1.5, we want to go 1.5 units away from the vertex and then draw our line. In this case, it's going to be a vertical line that crosses through that point right there, right? What is the equation of the directrix in this case? Okay, so in this case, the equation of the directrix will be x is equal to -3/2. Remember, it's a line, right? So you want to give it as the equation of a line. X equals -3/2.